Hi, I'm Em, an avid wargamer who runs social media accounts focused on promoting women in wargaming and creating inclusion-positive communities. As well as running women in wargaming events, I wanted to create a series focusing on the variety, creativity and skill of women in our hobby. So join me across this series as we explore the passion and joy women have for our hobby. Luna is a UK-based painter and streamer. She streams several times a week on Twitch with a loyal community who take part in her competitions run on her Instagram and Discord. Her work is whimsical and fun and is designed to bring a smile to the viewer's face. She's entered such pieces into Golden Demon with her Squignado bringing a playfulness to the competition.
Hi Luna, and welcome to your episode of the Women in Wargaming series. How are you this evening?
I'm good. I'm sick, but good.
Oh, bless you. And we're also joined by a very special guest this evening. Do you mind giving him a quick intro to everyone?
This is Jake. He has his own Instagram as well, by the way, quick plug. It's Jake the Beige Cat, I believe. It's just pictures of him being whatever this is, a gremlin, I guess. There you go, you got an Instagram plug. You're famous now. Doesn't care.
We love a pet here. We definitely love a pet here. Okay, cool. So let's get into this then. So how did you start your wargaming journey?
So it was my partner, Dan. He got gifted a little box of like Space Marines, I think it was. He was into it when he was a kid. And then he kind of like dropped off it. I think it was like when he was a teenager. So it was about 2 years ago now. When he got back into it, and we went into the local Warhammer shop, and he saw the big Leviathan box, and he was like, "Oh, if we get this one, even though it's like loads of money, if we get this one, you can have half and I can have half." And I was like, "I don't want half. I don't want another hobby. We already do airsoft. We already both have like gaming PCs. Like we've got enough hobby and stuff to be doing." And he said, "Well, you could just play with them then, and you can paint them." And I was like, "I'll paint them, but I don't want to play. I'm not interested. I'll try it just so like you've got someone to play with at the beginning before you like properly get into it." And then we came home, built them up together, played a game, and I was like, okay, this is confusing, but I love it. Started painting them, and I was like, yeah, this is my entire life now. We're done. I don't need anything else. I just need plastic crack.
Exactly. That's really cool. And it's nice that you have that shared hobby together as well. I think that's like really important in a relationship.
It's nice, but it's double the cost. So like he wants new minis, I want new minis, he needs paints, I need paints, he needs a wet palette, I need a wet palette. So like everything is double the cost.
Double the cost. Yeah. I'm sort of lucky, but not lucky in that respect, that my husband has never shown any interest in Warhammer whatsoever. So
Really?
Yeah, it's just me that does it. Anyway, this is about you. Rather than me. So, which game systems have you principally been drawn to? Is it Warhammer 40,000 that you're principally drawn to?
Yeah, so we've played 40k. I've been talking a lot though about how I really struggle to like understand the rules and stuff. And so like when we've done a game that Dan has said should take somewhere like between 2 and 4 hours, it's taken 8 because I'm just struggling to like understand what's going on. So we haven't played as much as I'd like to. It's like kind of really put me off not being able to like grab onto the concepts and everything. So people have mentioned that AOS is simpler. So I'm toying with AOS. AOS would have been like my preference to go into because of the look of the models over 40k. But we've got, there's a big Speed Freaks box that came out years ago, which the guys from Imps gave me when I wanted to paint more orcs. And that's like its own game. I don't really know what it is. I don't know if it's like that, what's that game called? Gaslands or something? I don't know if it's like that or if it is just like a mini game of like 40k or AOS, but just the cars. I don't know, but I really want to play that, whatever that is, purely because of my pink cars. But we're going to play that soon, and I'm hoping that's going to like reignite the like inspiration to go back into 40k and actually learn it this time.
Yeah, 40K is really complicated to learn. Like, as someone that plays it really regularly, even I struggle with it. So it's not the easiest game. So kudos to you for persevering with it. And like 8 hours for a full 40K game is standard for most hobbyists. So don't feel put off in
I was so done. At the end of the day, I was like, I hate this. I hate you. I don't want to play this anymore. I want alcohol. And then don't think we played for months then, because I was just like, that was exhausting. I'm so out of that now. But I do want to play it.
Yeah.
I just need an easy version.
Yeah. But I think knowing you like I do, and we'll get a bit more onto the other aspects of the hobby that you look into. I think the aspect of the hobby that most appeals to you is the painting and the creativity side. Would you say that is so?
Yeah, I think it's like that because I did used to paint before getting into the hobby. So I kind of didn't come into the hobby, like the painting side of it, feeling like out of my own, how do you say it? Like,
Out of your depth, yeah.
yeah. I felt like I had a leg in, I had a foot in something. I felt
There
like
was
I
a
could do
body
it.
part in the pool, yeah.
I felt like I could do it. So I didn't feel like I needed like a million tutorials to just dive in and be happy with what I was doing. So that part has appealed to me more. I'm definitely one of those people that if I start something new, I want to be good at it immediately, or I want nothing to do with it. So I've stuck with the painting more than the gaming. So yeah, it does. The painting does appeal to me more, but I love the concept of like tabletop wargaming. And I want that to be my thing desperately. So I will make it my thing eventually. After one of your events, maybe. Then it'll be my thing.
I would love to have you at one of my events, Luna. You know that I adore you so much, so it would be lovely to have you. But yes, so talking about the painting, so obviously the way I know you is through being a massive fan of your Twitch channel. So how did you begin Twitch streaming, and how did you sort of fall into the painting side of the Twitch stream?
I started streaming a very long time ago purely because I wanted people to play Battlefield Hardline with on Xbox. And I was like, oh, if I stream it, then, people will come in and then maybe they'll want to play and I'll have people to play games with. And that's all it really was. It didn't work. We ended up getting people in who wanted to see other games, so we played other things, but it meant that we could play other games. Like we ended up doing like GTA and big lobbies and things like that, and that was really nice. And then a few years later, when I first started doing canvas streams, canvas painting, when I first started doing canvas painting, I decided to stream that because I've kind of fallen into this habit of if I'm going to do something, I'm going to stream it because I want to share it with people. I don't want to be sat on my own.
Yeah.
And streaming just kind of became my default. And then when we got into Warhammer, Dan was like, oh, you should stream mini painting. I thought, you're daft. Like, don't be so silly. Like, don't be nuts. And then so I went on Twitch and I found Brannigan Brushes. Love Bran. He was the first stream that I found. And then I was like, oh, people do like watching these. And I was like, oh, sod it, I'll do it. And then it's just spiraled. Absolutely spiraled.
Yeah, but you've got a great community on Twitch, haven't you? We were talking about this earlier. So obviously I'm part of your community when I come along to your streams. And so how have you found building that community on Twitch?
I'm very grateful for the community that I have managed to build up. They are not your normal bunch. I think the normal bunch are probably the ones who decide to lurk and mute the stream and not get involved in the things we talk about. But yeah, we've got a bunch of gremlins. I'm surprised that what we talk about is even allowed on Twitch, to be honest. It's definitely 18 plus, thank God. It's wild. Where are you going? Just leave that down.
Bless him. Bless him. But no, you've got a great community on Twitch, and some of the things you've painted have been absolutely beautiful. Like I'm thinking of sort of like the yellow, so not yellow, the pink truck and stuff that I've seen you working on, and you were doing a pink bike for your orcs at one point as well. And I just love the fact that you fully embrace what you enjoy in your hobby and showcase that and make that accessible for everyone. I mean, what are some of the other projects that you are working on at the moment behind the scenes? What's some of the stuff that you're getting up to?
I've got 2 at the minute. I've got the October mini from Cryptic Cabin and my Golden Demon diorama, which is due in like 2 weeks before we go. It's not even glued together yet. My plinth isn't here, but it's fine. Yeah, so just those 2 at the minute. I was stupidly, I was thinking like, oh, I should paint a second thing for Golden Demon. Like I can manage that. I can't manage that. I don't know. It's in my head. I'm like, yeah, it'll be fine. I'll work it out. No, it's going to be the diorama and the one orc, and that'll be me for October. Then I think.
There's still plenty to be getting on with. What is your diorama? Do you mind chatting us through your diorama?
Yeah, I've got 2 gay space marines holding hands, in a like kind of like ruins, not really ruins, but the idea was like I originally wanted to do 2 space marines holding hands with a big like window in the background and then paint like a Tyranid versus Space Marine wall scene. I just wanted something gay. I just wanted something gay in the cabinets that's really clearly gay to maybe or maybe not upset some certain people. Um, That's why I chose the poster boys. I could have chosen anyone, but I chose Space Marines because I think at the time when I decided it, there was a lot of like weird things, some unhappy things that I was seeing online on Reddit and things. And I just thought this is so silly. So Golden Demon is the perfect excuse to just paint something that people will either love or they'll hate. Yeah, so gay Space Marines.
I love that so much, and I've sort of been watching the little snippets of updates that you've been putting on Instagram, and I'm so excited to see it come together. Like, so excited! It's going to be epic when it comes through. So how have you found that the hobby sort of supports your mental health? Because obviously you've got quite a broad range of what you do in the hobby in terms of like the painting, trying to learn to play, maybe not that aspect of it, but like the Twitch stream as well. And obviously you're very prevalent on Instagram. How have you found that sort of has helped your mental health?
I think with Twitch, I'm super open about my mental health.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of sort of creating this idea that everything's hunky dory all the time, and I'm just a content creator online who is always smiley and stuff. You know, I'll stream on a bad day, and I'll talk about it not as like a reason, not as like a free therapy session, but I just want it to be real.
Yeah.
Like too often people like look at content creators and stuff and think like you kind of get this like illusion in your head that they're always fine because they never mention anything, and you know they're not going through like real things, but we are. And I think doing that helps me because I don't really have a huge social life outside of Twitch, but also it kind of helps people understand that I am still a person,
Yeah.
and that's really, really important because there can be such a huge like parasocial disconnect between people who watch Twitch and people who stream on Twitch. So it's been nice. It's been good for me where if I'm having a bad day, and I don't want to paint, I'll still stream, and I might not get a bunch of painting done, but I'm still surrounded by people who've got the same hobby as me, same interests, and you know it does help. It does lift the mood and stuff. It won't stop what's going on, but it's huge because I'm not the type of person that will call up a friend and be like, let's go do something, but I will go on Twitch. So
Yeah, and it's nice to it is nice to watch your stream because it is so real, and you talk about the things that are going on in your life. And obviously you've had a lot of negative things happen to you recently as well, and it's really refreshing to have someone sit and talk about it, and others can sit there and go, yeah, okay, like other people are in the same boat
Mhm.
as me, and yet we're in the same hobby, and I've just come to watch this like little man be painted so he can hold hands with another little man. But at the same time, I feel a connection to this person, so it's nice that you facilitate that in your community and that you're so open about it. So thank you. Um, how do you feel that your background has influenced your hobby? Because obviously I know we've spoken about the fact that you are quite artsy, and always have been. So how have you found that that's influenced sort of your art style and the things that you bring to your models and your painting?
Um, so I think, I think in a good way and a bad way. I keep being, I'm constantly being told that I am um continuing to try painting my minis like I'm painting on canvas.
Right.
Um, which is okay because it's my way of doing things and there's not a set way to do things. But I think it does help and it does hinder me. Um, I almost refuse to like follow the mini painting like methods because they're not my methods. And
Yeah.
in my head, I'm like, I paint and I turn my brain off and things just happen. So if I follow something else, I'm not doing what I know. And then there's a risk that I'm going to be bad at it and then I'm going to hate it and then I'm going to give up. Um, so it's helpful in a way, but then it's also, I think it is stopping me from progressing in like my skill level with painting. So it's definitely both. Definitely both.
But it's nice that you bring your own unique spin to it, and you can definitely see that in the models that you produce and post. Like it's so nice to see something that is so totally different to what other people are doing, and the different take on it and the different techniques are so evident, and yet they're still beautiful pieces, and
Thanks.
the people that don't like recognize that can get in the bin as far as I'm concerned. So yeah. What has been one of your favorite models to date that you've painted?
Oh my gosh.
It's very much like asking you to pick your favorite child. I know, and that's quite
Yeah.
difficult.
Um, I really like painting. I know this is contradiction. I really like painting flesh. So I love
Mm,
painting squigs because it's just all flesh. Because I feel like I can't make a mistake because it's made up skin. Like it's not a human. It's a monster. So it can look like anything. So if I mess it up, it's not really messing it up. That's just the way it looks because it's not real. Um, so I love squigs, but now that I've started doing my girly pop cars, I love painting them. Which I didn't think I was going to be like a huge vehicle fan, but yeah, I think it'd be torn between painting probably Squignado or the Speed Freak cars. I couldn't pick between them. No, I
tell
couldn't.
people about Squignado, because obviously I know about Squignado, but other people might not know about Squignado, and I love the story behind Squignado. So
Okay. Um, so Squignado was my first entry to Golden Demon last year. The only reason I entered was because that the dates for Essenspiel basically landed on the anniversary of the year mark of when I started doing hobby painting. And I was like, it's too poetic to not enter. Um, wasn't entering for trying to get a pin or anything like that. I knew that for 1 year in, it's not happening. So I wanted to paint squigs because squigs are my safe space to paint because flesh. So I chose the Wrangler or the Mangler squig. I can't remember what the name is. It's one of those two. But they've got these big chains that connect them, and I don't use TMM paints because I'm stupid. I refuse to, and I thought I don't want to paint NMM chains. That's too much, especially for like a last minute thing. So we were streaming and we were coming up for ways for me to keep the squigs in the same like composition, because I loved the composition, didn't want the chains. So like there's gonna be a way to keep it. And then someone suggested a tornado. And that absolutely spiraled. So we made a tornado with a 3D print pen, and then someone, I don't know who it was, someone in chat, I think they all just like collaborated with each other, but someone came up with the idea that the two squigs chase each other so much, like relentlessly, that it created a tornado and it just runs through the diorama. So there's two squigs wrapped up in a tornado and then a bunch of squigs and little like grot thingies running away. Is that the whole story? Is that it?
I think so. And then there's a bit
Okay.
about when you actually got to Golden Demon as well.
Oh, the non-confirmed thing. Okay. I didn't know where you were going. I was like, does she want this bit? Yeah, so put it in the cabinets. It was all fine. The guy at the desk didn't say anything, but a person who apparently has an in with said people told me that it was not it was silently disqualified, because people came up to me and they were like, you didn't get a pin, and I was like, okay, yeah, not really surprised. And I was like, well, you sure you should have got a pin? That's not fair. You should have got a pin. I was like, well, I bloody should now. Look at it. If you look really closely at it, like the front squigs don't even look like they've gone past the base layer. I was like, this is a Golden Demon level quality. And then super secret source was like, oh yeah, it was disqualified. And I was like, why the hell was it disqualified? And she said, oh, well, it's not lore accurate, so it doesn't pass for the diorama category. And I said, well, wouldn't it count then for the open category? And they said, yeah. And I was like, well, surely you'd think they would move it. It does say in the rules, if they deem something not in the right category, they'll move it to another one. But they didn't do that. So I don't know if it was ever actually disqualified, but I'm really not bothered. I really don't care. I'm kind of expecting the same thing to happen this year. But I've got the same expectation, or the same hope. If they do disqualify it, that's okay. Just put it in the cabinet. As long as it goes in the cabinet and people can see it, they can laugh at it, they can talk about it, that's fine. That's all I wanted last year. And I had so many people stop and point and laugh and take pictures. And I thought, that's so funny. That's so funny that people, and then afterwards people were still talking about it. And I just thought, that's crazy. But that's all I could want. And that's all I want this show. I want people to look at it and remember it and just find it fun to look at.
Something a bit different in a hobby that a lot of people take almost that little bit too seriously. It's a hobby at the end of the day, and you should have joy in your hobby, and it is those moments. And there's a diorama piece that I love that I've seen at a few competitions now, which is a mock Raven Guard that is got a goose on its base, and instead of it having the Raven Guard insignia, it's got geese insignia and stuff like that. And I just find that really funny, the tongue-in-cheekness of, it's this spiral out of Raven Guard, and they don't have a raven, but they have a goose on their insignia. That's quite funny. And I think they're called the silly geese or something. I could be wrong with that, but it's just the joy and the tongue-in-cheekness.
It's a super serious hobby. It not always and not for everyone. I think with Golden Demon, people, well, in my opinion, people should kind of not take it as serious. If you're not one of those painters that is at the skill level to be getting a Golden Demon, doesn't mean you shouldn't enter. And I had a lot of that, people saying to me well, are you sure you're going to enter? You've only been doing this for a year. You've only been doing this for 2 years. And I'm like, well, yeah, because who's going to stop me? Like, what?
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to win a golden demon, but as long as I know that and I'm comfortable with that, there is no problem with me entering. I can enter whatever I want. Dan can enter if he wants to. Keeps joking about it. And if you want to, you want to put it in the cabinet. What are they going to do? Say no? They're
Yeah.
not going to say no. It just doesn't matter. But everyone's like, oh, it's it's one of the most important competitions. Okay, so go be part of it.
Yeah.
Go join in then. Like, you don't need to win to take part. If you did,
Yeah.
it'd be a bit boring.
Diversify the competition and put the pieces in that expands the lore in a way that you want it to be expanded and represent what you want to represent. I mean, you know, me and my content is obviously very elder focused and that doesn't always get a lot of attention above all of the Space Marines, so for me, whenever I see a beautiful elder piece, and there always are some really stunning, beautiful pieces, and elder lore is really rich as well. There's so many veins to tap into it. I get really excited when I see them in the cabinets, and that's what calls to me more than like your Space Marines or your Space Marines versus Tyranids dioramas and stuff like that. So yeah, so you keep doing you, my love. But yeah. And everyone should check out the Squignado because it's a brilliant piece. It's very, very good. So what other avenues has your hobby opened up for you, would you say? So you've got like your Twitch and the Instagram, so kind of creating those communities for you.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. This is a hard one. Yeah, I've got the Twitch community. Instagram is an interesting one because I think for the most part, the people who I speak to on Instagram are probably from Twitch. Or if they're from Instagram, they've looked at my Twitch and then I've chatted to them there. So it's all primarily on Twitch. I more of look at the Instagram as like this is where my final mini goes, or like the finished mini goes, or this is where I span like really weird Twitch clips that will get me 0 sponsorships from any company ever. I think I've like
Yeah, but I love
blacklisted
that you
myself with
put
them.
them up. I love that you put your bloopers up. Like
hmm
it makes me laugh every time they come up on my feed. I'm like, because it's
I
just a
love
real
them.
conversation,
Yeah, well, it's a good like. If I don't post them and then you look at the minis and then you see like the Twitch link, you might get the impression that like the Twitch stream is like just a normal hobby space, but it's not. It's for the gremlins. So I need people to expect gremlin behavior. Otherwise, it's a real big shock. But yeah, I don't think companies. I've got one company that wants to work with me, thank God. But I think after that, I don't think anyone else is coming near me, not with what I'm posting, which is okay.
Which is a shame because, like, your stuff is great and it appeals to a part of the market that isn't the like polished and nuanced kind of sex, which I love. So yeah. How would you say your painting process is undertaken? Because obviously we've talked a lot about how you're a canvas painter by background and things like that. How do you begin your painting process?
God. I think it's different depending on what I'm doing, but for the most part, and I'm going to sound like a real asshole here, for the most part, there really isn't a plan, and there's really not a process. I get swept up into conversation on Twitch, and I just kind of switch my brain off, and then things just happen. Sometimes they're good things, sometimes they're bad things, but half the good things I've done accidentally and gone, oh, wasn't meant to do that. Looks all right though. I'll do it again. That's happened way too many times on way too many different minis, but I really don't think that I've got a process. I might have a process, and I think if people were watching, they might be able to like pick a process out. But as far as what's going on in my head when I start painting, brain's off. this is my off time. Like, brain's off. I'm looking to chat and just slap some paint on. If it goes good, it goes good. I don't think there's anything more than that. Like, unless I'm doing something like a nid carapace or something. That's the only thing where, like, every time I go to it, I do the same thing over and over again. Other than that, I've no idea what I'm doing. We just hope for the best.
Yeah, but that's why you get such variety and beauty in your pieces, is because you have that creativity to just
Go on, make me
switch off.
blush.
Exactly. But you deserve the credit, and you definitely don't give yourself enough credit, my love. So
I know I don't. I got the big imposter syndrome, and I know that.
Well, actually, you saying that brings me on to my last question quite nicely. So, if there was one thing that you could pass on to other women in the hobby, whether that be a skill or a piece of advice, what would that be?
Oh, just one thing.
You can come up with a few things if you would like.
I'll get a list out. No. So two things, which are not just for women, just for new people in the hobby, is the first one. Too many tutorials on how to hobby can be absolutely detrimental to what you're going to do and how you're going to enjoy the hobby.
Yeah.
There are so many tutorials out there that will market themselves towards in the way of saying, this is a 10-minute tutorial, watch this, you'll paint like me, the guy who's got 20 years experience and is not telling you how to do all the micro decisions and all of this stuff when you can't even hold a brush properly. Tutorials can be great, but they can also be terrible because you're going to have the expectation that you can output what they're doing. You can't. You're brand new. You haven't got a chance. You need to set your expectations a lot lower. And it sounds nasty, but if you watch too many of those tutorials and you expect a certain quality to come out and then you can't do that, you feel like you're the problem, but you're not. You're not there yet. And the second thing for everyone is you don't need to buy from the household named companies who sell brushes and tools and things like that. You can use the cheap stuff. It doesn't make a difference when you're just starting out. Buying the brand of brushes isn't gonna give you any level of skill. You can't purchase skill, even if they tell you buy this signature set of brushes and paint like this guy. No, get yourself cheapy Amazon ones if you want to, because it doesn't matter. So that's for everyone. For women, it's hard to say because I've been very, very lucky where I haven't faced, I don't think, any sort of issues coming into the hobby. I'm a very loud person who knows how to take up their own space. I've got years and years of practice of it. So I haven't really struggled with it. But I think there was one thing I could say was you deserve the space just as much as anyone else. And if this is a hobby that you want to partake in, you just need to find the right people to do that hobby with. Yeah, that was quite good.
That was very good. Very,
what
very
can
good.
I come up with?
You did really well. No, I love them and they're great pieces of advice. So thank you so much, my love. Just to close out, is there anyone in particular that you want to give a shout out to or anything like that?
Yeah. This hobby has, bye-bye, Jacob. Oh, I'll just hold this now. Great. Thanks, Jake. Yeah. So thanks to this hobby, I really have met some wonderful people. I couldn't name everyone in the community because I'd be here for a very long time. But I'm very, very fortunate to have met my two new favourite people in the world, the guys who run Imps Gaming. They've become two of my closest friends, and I'm very, very grateful for them. So if you need hobby stuff and you don't want them at an extortionate price, Imps Gaming.
Perfect. I will make sure to link them below for people to go and have a look at and browse their wares. But yes, thank you so much for your time this evening, my love. I do appreciate it. I will make sure to link your social media so that everyone can go and check out Swignado, come and watch your Twitch stream, and hopefully see the two gay Space Marines holding hands at Spiel in the coming period. I think by the time this goes out, you will have actually have gone to Spiel, but I'm not sure. So if it has, then I will make sure to link below. But yes, thank you so much. I do
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
And speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Women in Wargaming series, and thank you to all of my guests who have appeared this series. If you've enjoyed what you've watched, please consider liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel and following me on Instagram at ElderExarch.